Hey guys, welcome to another episode from New Zealand's biggest gap year, where in today's episode we're visiting the beautiful Doubtful Sound. Want to know more about what this video is about? This is New Zealand's biggest gap year, where we did 365 activities in 365 days a couple of years ago, and it was a pretty epic adventure. At the end of the video, we're going to go through some of the comments and questions you guys had the first time around when we published this video, so we can give you a video with more travel tips, more updates, and more glorious content. All right, let's get to it.
We start our day in the awesome Kiwi holiday park right in the city center of Te Anau, and we are jumping in a camper van really early because today we have a long day with real journey going to Doubtful Sound. And it's gonna be a long journey, alright, making our way all the way to Doubtful Sound. First up, we are jumping on a boat going through Lake Manapuri to reach a bus that is gonna drive us through a massive mountain range, and then we're gonna hop on the boat to tour Doubtful Sound. And then the journey finishes by doing all of that on the way back.
It's going to be a long day, but it's gonna be an awesome one. So we are starting off on Lake Manapuri, which is the second deepest lake in New Zealand at 444 meters. We learn loads of facts like that on the way there when we get constant commentary by the guides from Real Journeys.
We can already feel that we are going in an absolutely unique place. There are towering mountains, the lake is huge, the views are stunning, there are waterfalls, and as soon as we hop off the boat, we can feel that this place has been virtually untouched. The only sign of civilization around the Doubtful Sound area is this massive road, which was built because there is a power station somewhere hidden in the depth of one of those forests. This road was actually the only road in New Zealand which is not connected to the main road network, and it was the most expensive road ever built in New Zealand, costing over $2 per centimeter.
On our way to Doubtful Sound, we take a couple of pit stops so that we can take some awesome photos of the beautiful scenery and the awesome viewpoints, but we are quickly distracted by the Kia birds. The cheeky Kia parrot is the world's only alpine parrot, and they are only found right here on the South Island of New Zealand. They're highly intelligent but very mischievous as they are trying to pull the buses apart, taking off the rubber ceilings of the windows. They're really hilarious, and they seem to be really intrigued by us just as we are of them.
The Kia birds create a bit of a ruckus between all the tourists trying to take picture of them and the Kia birds making noise like that sound about like cats and trying to pull apart the bus while the bus drivers are chasing them away. It's absolutely hilarious. But this viewpoint pit stop is already over. The view was great, but the entertainment was even better. Alan, our driver and guide, tell us that the next section of our drive is along Wilmot Pass, which is a world-famous pass because this is the entrance of the UNESCO section of the Fiordland National Park. From there, the whole national park is protected by New Zealand laws as well as international laws for its pristine environment and stunning nature.
As soon as we're off the bus, we are hopping onto the Patea Explorer, which is the huge catamaran vessel which is going to take us through the epic Doubtful Sound. The journey to get here was just a taster, but now the real adventure begins with a 3-hour cruise through the Doubtful Sound.
We're starting our journey in Deep Cove, which is where we boarded the boat, and Deep Cove gets its name because Doubtful Sound itself is actually the deepest sound in New Zealand at over 420 meters deep. It's also super long, it's over 40 kilometers long and includes 3 different arms. That's actually 3 times longer than the most famous Milford Sound. On board of the boat, we do have a couple of guides which are giving us heaps of commentary and giving us heaps of facts about Doubtful Sound itself. They are telling us a ton of really interesting stuff, including the fact that on Doubtful Sound there is actually 2 types of water. On the surface there is actually fresh water which comes from all the streams feeding into the sound, and below there is the salt water which is most dense, and this helps really intriguing ecosystem to grow in the sound, including black coral.
Because this is a long tour, we decided to get ourselves the picnic lunch package, getting ourselves some coffee as well and hot chocolate. And this has to be one of the most scenic lunches I've ever had. We're looking out at these huge windows from the dining area that go from the floor to the ceiling, and we get these beautiful views of the surrounding fjords. We are stuffing ourselves with sandwiches, grapes, apple, chocolate, muesli, a whole bunch of stuff before heading back onto the bridge to take some more photos. The boat has headed down one of the arms of Doubtful Sound, which means the water's a lot more placid, a lot more tranquil, and here it just feels like we're completely surrounded by untouched wilderness. This place has been like this for millions of years. In fact, because this is such a wild area, the captain is switching off the engine and asking everyone to be quiet so that we can hear the noises of the native birds around us.
It's only in complete silence that you can appreciate how grand is Doubtful Sound. There are probably millions of birds calling each other on every single side of those mountains. It's incredible, and being able to hear the complete ruckus that those birds are doing is crazy. I did not expect to feel this place being so alive. There is really heaps of wildlife to be found in Doubtful Sound, and our nature guide is telling us all about all of it. We see some fjordland crested penguins, we see some seals, and yesterday even they get to see some whales. But today we are treated to the local pod of bottlenose dolphin, and they are clearly here to give us a show.
Right below our boat, we can see a whole pod of bottlenose dolphins, which are the largest species of dolphins in the world. They are really super lively and really communicative. We can actually hear them speaking to each other in the water. And the faster the boat goes, the more excited they seem to be, until eventually they start leaping out of the water right in front of us. It's so amazing and such an awesome thing to see. We're taking heaps of photos and getting absolutely splashed by those dolphins.
Sadly, all this excitement is marking the beginning of the end of our tour. Our boat has turned around already and we are making our way back toward Deep Cove. We are obviously doing quite a few extra stops along the way in the different arms of the sound and some places where we can take some amazingly reflective pictures which made Doubtful Sound famous. And to our biggest surprise, the crew is passing around and giving us some empty cups of water. They're telling us that the water here is so pure you can actually drink from it. So they maneuvering the boat super close to a waterfall, and we all reach with our hand trying to fill up our cup with super fresh fjordland water. It gets everybody super pumped and also super wet. It's so fun. We'll spare you the journey back, but it's about the same way that we came in. Laura and I are so happy about today. We feel so privileged to have access to such a remote place.
So Laura really wants a picture with a flag flying, so I'm trying to help.
Keep going! You nearly got it!
Damn it!
Alright guys, let's jump into some of the comments and questions you guys had the first time around when we published this video, and we'll give you a few more travel tips from there. Okay, Romancing Travel says, I actually have heard of Doubtful Sound from a few friends that have been fortunate enough to visit. Would love to one day visit myself as it looks like such a beautiful place. Yes, it is absolutely a must do if you have the time for it. A lot of people go for Milford Sound because it's usually a bit easier to get to and also easier to get to if you have limited time. Whereas for Doubtful Sound, it's best to be able to have the time to travel to Te Anau, stay in Te Anau overnight, and then do the Doubtful Sound trip. Because the Doubtful Sound trip from Te Anau is like a full day in itself. Let's have a look at some more questions. We have Anna Witter saying, stunning place. Those Kias are so funny. They are addicted to rubber. They tried to eat the wheels of my children's push cart and even pecked at our jandals. Yes, those cheeky Kias have no boundaries. They will come and peck whatever they can. So it's pretty funny. And let's have a look at some more questions. We have Izzy saying, hi, I actually do have enough time to visit both Milford and Doubtful Sound, but money-wise, I'm not sure if I should visit both. What do you recommend? I think if you are, you don't want to spend all your budget on both tours, I would definitely recommend just picking one. It's obviously showcases very similar scenery, so you definitely can get a good experience out of just doing one of the tours. And if you do have the time to visit both Milford and Doubtful Sound, I would definitely recommend visiting Doubtful Sound over Milford Sound. The trip itself, there's a lot less boats in Doubtful Sound. It doesn't feel as rushed and basically as touristy as Milford Sound can feel. Whereas, Doubtful Sound is just sort of you and your tour group enjoying this really awesome landscape, which the tour itself actually lasts a lot longer than in Milford Sound. The boat cruise takes about a couple of hours, so you really are getting to make the most of the environment, whereas in Milford Sound, the boat trips are usually around 45 minutes to an hour, so it's a sort of a quicker ordeal, and then you usually have to rush to get back out again if people are on limited time. So in short, if you have the time, do Doubtful Sound. That's it for this video. If you do have any comments or questions of your own, check out put them in the comments below. That's what you should do. And also you can check out our live video, which we do every single Sunday at 8 a.m. New Zealand time. We go through all your questions in the live chat and answer your New Zealand travel questions straight away. So that's a good place to get your New Zealand travel questions answered. Alright guys, see you in the next video.